only issue I have with what Stallone did was he never unwrapped it, did he? He kept it in the packaging, sealed.
Exactly right. And I had always thought of this as something to just be admired. I wasn't going to covet it and keep it forever. That's just not my personality. I tend to enjoy things and then I like to share them. And that's the truth. I do. There was a famous comedian once. His name was Flip Wilson. I don't know how many people remember, but I was admiring.
Did he just say Flip? He did. He said Flip. I hadn't picked it up before. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. This episode is about Sylvester Stallone and him selling his one-of-one Grandmaster chime, and the fact that the president of Patek Philippe, Mr. Thierry Stern, is extremely disappointed. If you're a subscriber, fantastic, I really appreciate it. If not, hit the subscribe button and let's get into this video. What's unusual for Patek Philippe is to speak publicly about stuff. It's unusual, guys. Thierry, if I'm saying his name right, has publicly said he's disappointed. He's basically voiced his frustrations with Sylvester Stallone for reselling his Grandmaster chime watch within a few years of being given the green light to buy it from the watchmaker's headquarters. Now, the watch sold for 5.4 million, and I believe it's a £3 million purchase in the first place. So Stallone is about to make £2 million in profit. Does he need the money? I don't know. Why did he sell the watch? I don't know. Do I have a problem with him selling it? No. If I had his kind of money, would I sell it? Absolutely not. I had a look at his initial video. I've just watched a conversation between Sylvester Stallone and his financial advisor, Ralph. And from that conversation, I have deduced that he did purchase the watch with a view to long-term sell it. He did. That's just my opinion. I'm going to play the audio and let you guys tell me what your opinion is.
We talked about sitting out your collection. You know, we went through the whole collection and we tried on things, and I remember seeing a lot of these on you, either out socially or in films. And I think it was a great opportunity to really look at the collection and see what was the right thing to let go at this time.
Exactly right. And I had always thought of this as something to just be admired. I wasn't going to covet it and keep it forever. That's just not my personality. I tend to enjoy things and then I like to share them. And that's the truth. I do. There was a famous comedian once. His name was Flip Wilson. I don't know how many people remember, but I was admiring.
Did he just say Flip? He did. He said Flip. I hadn't picked it up before.
And I was looking at this beautiful.
Is Flip Wilson code for Flipper?
That's beautiful.
Oh, Sly.
Here, you can have it. Like, why?
I'm not calling Sly Stallone a flipper.
Because I've had it for a while, I've enjoyed it, and it seems like now it's time for you to enjoy it. And I never forgot that. It's really been an honor to fly at this level in the world of watches. So if you want to experience perfection, there it is.
And I think when it came time to advise you, as I do with your art, with some other aspects of your collection, to bring these to market, I think our relationship with Jeff Hess, friendship and a long-term business relationship, bringing them to market at Sotheby's was the right choice.
Ralph's a business advisor. He's not a watch collector. It's good sound advice. 2 million profit. That's really good business advice. But
and it isn't as though they wanted to sell everything I had. They were very selective and sensitive.
Very selective and sensitive. I think Patek Philippe has got a different story on that question. What do you think, guys? You decide. Let me know in the comments. Sylvester Stallone, flipper, investor, shrewd investor. He's got his own personal financial advisor, guys. That watch has a lot of Stallone nuances to it, and I believe his name's on the box. He's never going to get a watch like that again. And as he said in his video, that is the best watch ever made. And you just got to think of his motives. He kept it factory sealed. So was his intent to never wear the watch in the first place and then to flip the watch at a profit? I mean, it's a really odd place to be, because I've seen his episodes with his family, and I have seen him wear an older Submariner a lot, and I do think he likes the older Rolex watches. And maybe he just never liked the watch after he received it, or maybe that event, that special event in his life, never happened where he got to wear the watch. And I just don't know. Now, I don't have a problem with him selling the watch because it was his property and it was a few years. But I'm telling you now, Patek Philippe are very annoyed. And I'll just say the words one more time. Frustrated. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You've got to write letters and basically beg to be given this watch. And the fact that he had it customized is just a level above, guys. This is a Grandmaster chime. I mean, this is the best watch in the world. The best watch money can buy, and even money can't buy this watch. I hope I'm making it as clear as possible. That doesn't matter how much money you have, you can't buy this watch. And I think, well, how do I complain about producer Michael being a flipper and not complain about Sylvester Stallone? Well, producer Michael bought multiple OP41s, a poor man's watch if you ask me. He bought them in multiple colours, and my view is what he does is he buys two, he puts one in the safe unworn, and he wears one for a bit, just under a year, and then he flips that as a profit, and then he keeps one in the safe. He's the ultimate businessman. But producer Michael has no business buying OPs. He really hasn't, because they should be available to people like us. Now, I do have a green OP, and I can assure you it's just superb, and anybody that's on a waiting list for an OP41, stay on that wait list. And if you see an OP41 just a touch over retail and you're not on a waiting list and it's not a clone, buy the watch. I absolutely love it. Now, I still have mine, and I will never ever sell my green OP41. I had a very good experience on the day I purchased the watch, and I also purchased a watch for my wife and picked up some jewellery for my daughter, and I also got to purchase the watch from a very special lady. So that watch is extremely precious to me. And Stallone's Grandmaster chime just doesn't seem to have been as precious to him. And then how else can I just qualify the fact that I'm not a flipper? I'm going to tell you a true story, guys. I had a very good relationship with Omega. I was on speaking terms with loads of people at Omega, and I like to speak the truth, and the way they started to operate really annoyed me, and they didn't like the fact that I challenged them, and they started to behave a different way with me. They just didn't like me anymore, which is fair enough. They liked my money, but they just didn't like me anymore. Anyway, I wanted this watch, the Omega Seamaster 300M, the 60th anniversary edition. And when I first saw the watch and it first existed, it was £7,100. And then what Omega chose to do was, before anybody received one, they automatically put the price up by £600. And even though Omega put the price of this watch up by £600 to £7,700, I still wanted the watch. And I had a good relationship with Omega, and I put my name down for the watch. And I was very lucky because on my 51st birthday, I got the watch. I also got very lucky with something else. It's a 60th anniversary edition bond, and the serial number on my one ends in 60. Doesn't make the watch a one of one like Stallone's, but just takes the watch up a tiny bit. Doesn't make it worth anymore, just makes it a tiny bit more desirable. Will I ever sell the watch? Absolutely not. If you get the opportunity to buy this watch, especially now, Watchfinder are actually selling them. I think Watchfinder are selling this watch for £7,250, which is the current MSRP is 7,000. I think it's 7,900, and so that's a good £700-800 off. I think you should pick this watch up. It comes on a Milanese bracelet. I don't wear it on the bracelet. I wear it on this sailcloth strap by a company called Artem Straps. And this is not the point of the video. Everybody wants a certain watch. Everybody wants the bloody Snoopy, don't they? They all want this goddamn Snoopy, and you have to have a massive buy history to get a Snoopy. And I said to the manager of the Omega boutique, if you put a Snoopy in front of me and you put the Bond 60th anniversary edition, I'll take the 60th anniversary edition. And people thought I was crazy, and that was the truth. I wanted this watch more than I wanted this watch. And because of my love for Omega and my love for this watch, 2 months later, Omega offered me this watch, and I took it. Now, I don't have an emotional attachment to this watch. I just don't. But it is my only Speedmaster. I did cover why that's my only Speedmaster in another video. So it's not a bad Speedmaster to own if you've only got one, right? But this is the one I wanted. Now, when I got this watch, I obviously took the watch and I loaded it into Watchfinder of how much the watch was worth for them to buy it off me. Would you believe Watchfinder offered me, now what Watchfinder does, they offer you two prices, guys, a low and a high. Now they've changed it completely, and the lowest bid that they were willing to pay was 13.5, and the highest bid was 14. That would have netted me a £4,000 profit immediately. Does that make sense? Because I could have easily rung them and said, listen, give me 13.8, the watch is yours. And the current MSRP at the time was 9,800. So that's £4,000 profit for buying a watch I liked but didn't want, like this one. And I still didn't sell it, guys, and I still have it. Now, if I went to sell it today, a year later, I would probably get half that from Watchfinder, probably 12 grand now. So have I lost £2,000 in a year? Not really, because I wasn't going to sell the watch. I appreciate the fact that Omega reached out to me and said, listen, you bought this watch, would you like the other watch? And I have bought another watch from Omega. I just need to find it. Yeah. This one, this world timer. And this is the reason why I fell out with Omega. On this particular watch, I saw my ass with Omega, and I am on no longer speaking terms with Omega, but I still have all the watches that I purchased from Omega. So when I call producer Michael a greedy flipping bee, it's because I'm not a greedy flipping bee. And the only issue I have with what Stallone did was he never unwrapped it, did he? He kept it in the packaging, sealed. So what was his motivation in buying that watch? I honestly don't know. And I think that's part of the reason why Patek Philippe are so annoyed. And what he's now done is he's made it twice as hard for people to get the watch. Does that make sense? And there won't be any more factory sealed watches going to celebrities again. That's a fact. So I'm not calling Sylvester Stallone a flipper. I'm just saying what he did was a big no-no, and he will never, ever get a watch from Patek Philippe again. He just won't. Does he care? I guarantee he doesn't give a stuff. I'm pretty sure he's a Rolex guy through and through, but he just doesn't want to talk about that. And what I said about producer Michael, I'm not taking it back. He is a greedy flipping bee, and he because I've watched his channel from the start. I've slowly stopped watching it now, because I've gone off the guy. The only reason I went mad about the celebration dial was he did it a year earlier with the Tiffany dial, and he did it again with, he had 2 Daytonas, you see. So I could see a pattern there, and I figured out what he was up to. If I'd have just seen that one video and didn't have the context of watching every single video producer Michael had put out in the last 2 years, I wouldn't have been so annoyed, and I wouldn't have tweeted what he was up to. And that's part of the reason why I called him what I did. I want to do a question and answer session in my next video. I don't want to do a state of the collection video because I find them very dull. So let's just try and do some questions and answers, and ask some questions in this video, and I will then cover those in my next video. Listen, thanks for being there. Thanks for supporting this hobby channel of mine, where I like to talk about watches, and I collect watches, and I can assure you I am not a greedy flipping bee. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.